Kevin again for Cinema Head Cheese. We're here with Greg Sestero from The Room here on the Love Is Blind tour. Greg,
that's
nice
right.
To meet
Nice
you.
to meet you.
You know, I watched this movie a couple of months ago, and the entire time I'm sitting there watching this, going, I know this guy. I know this guy. As I had to look you up on IMDb, and I found Retro Puppet Master.
That's right. That's another cult movie.
Yeah, that's the only one of the series I've seen. It's just coincidental that's
Wow.
what I've done. So now you've done The Room and Retro Puppet Master.
That's right.
What is it like working with inanimate objects?
You know what? Yeah, I felt more at home working with the puppets than I did with the actors in the room.
Yeah.
No, both were, oddly enough, they're both very, let's say they're unique films.
Ah, yes. Oh, look
at that. He's
attacking you.
He's still even here when he's not here.
You gotta watch out. Tommy's coming for you.
The ghost of Tommy Wiseau is here.
They were both very, let's just say, unique films to work on.
Yeah.
But they both were a blast. I mean, Puppet Master, I got to go to Romania and shoot in these fun castles in the snow, and and on The Room, I got to work with Tommy. So I was, you could look at it as a blessing or a curse, but I think it was a good time.
So are you touring around with him a lot, or?
Yeah, I've been on about like 9 or 10 dates with him, and then I was gone to Europe for a while. So it's it's a great time. Every city they're really excited and they have a great time. And actually, the audience here in Tempe has been hilarious. I mean, they're coming up with stuff in there I've never heard before.
Yeah, it's very. I mean, everybody's just so excited about this movie every month, and I mean, it plays every time, sells out. So.
Yeah, what I've noticed with this audience is they're almost creating like a new movie out of this.
Yeah.
The stuff they're coming up with, they're having such a good time with it that I see why they come back every month. Because when I watch it, I'm like, oh, okay, you've seen it one time, it's a good time, but there's so much a part of it that it's actually probably something to look forward to. Which is
well, and there's a local, he's a musician, his name is Fancy Pants, and he even wrote a song about the movie that he's sometimes performed before the movie.
Oh, wow.
So it's taken on its own life even here.
There's even I played a video game of it today.
Really?
Where you walk around, they got like the apartment, they got San Francisco. It's really, people are sharing the love with this movie.
So really, how long after you shot it did you get to see it?
I saw dailies right away.
Yeah.
Because I was working, closely with Tommy, so I got to see the magic early on.
So were you friends with Tommy beforehand? Or?
Yeah, we met in an acting class actually. And he said, you're perfect for this role and this movie I want to make. And I thought, yeah, right, I'll believe it when I see it. And he came through and he was, right there. And, I helped him cast it. And, I did so many things on the movie that acting was almost like a little chore, So,
I mean, when you saw it all put together, though, what was your reaction? Did you think, this is not going anywhere?
Oh, I had a blast. I mean, I didn't think. It's funny. I brought the rough cut of it to my family's vacation in Miami, and I showed it to my brother, and he was just. We were laughing so hard, and he's like, "Picture if someday you could retire off this movie."
Yeah.
And I thought we just had a great time with it. We were just busting up. He's like, "Is there any chance this could really become something?" And then we watched it, and he's like, after the third sex scene in 10 minutes, he said, I think you may want to hold off on the retirement.
Yeah.
But what's crazy is I was approached by a couple of publishers this year to write a book about my whole experience making The Room and meeting Tommy and like just everything it's turned into. Nice. So that's going to be a really cool experience to like share that with fans and answer all their questions. And
so what does your brother say now?
He cannot believe it. When it was on the cover of Yahoo and like one of the top selling films on Amazon, he said, I think I have to eat my hat now.
Well, what do you think of this whole, it's almost like, it's a strange trend happening right now. You've got The Room and Birdemic and The Human Centipede, and these are 3 films, I mean, here in Tempe that get audiences, and they seem to be hitting around, and there are a couple others I've heard. I mean, what do you think of this sort of trend for this cult sort of movie?
You know what? I didn't even know like there was a bad movie thing that existed. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that. I've never even seen Rocky Horror or anything. So I guess people are enjoying you know, something that's different. I think with a lot of these Hollywood films, you know, if you go see like The Expendables or Transformers, I mean, those are just like these huge action films that they pour in a ton of money to that are terrible, you know, and it's almost like they're insulting the audience. And I think with these movies, the audience gets to be such a part of it. Like, these are made by people that really put their heart into it, that really wanted to make a great movie, and it ended up being what it is. And I think they can really, I don't know, it's almost like something they can really relate to, and just, you know, because I think a lot of times Hollywood, they make films that are, make you feel like they're above you. Like Harrison Ford is like, you know, making 20 million per movie, he's got the ultimate life, and it's almost, you know, we go to movies to like look up to these people. And then you get a movie like The Room or Birdemic or any of these movies, and you can like look at it and laugh and be like, hey, you know,
Yeah.
I'm above this, or I can, you know, I can be a part of this. So it's, I think it's probably refreshing for people to see.
What about things like, I mean, it seems that nerd culture is growing
Yeah.
to a large, I mean, that's really what we do. You know, we're
Uh-huh.
kind of almost that kind of a website. A lot of nerd culture stuff. I mean, anything from movies to video games and things like that. Were you out in San Diego at Comic-Con?
Yeah, I was.
I mean, how was that? How were you received there? 'Cause-
That's a passionate crowd that goes there.
Yeah.
They love their video games and their movies. And it's a,
I mean, was it the kind of thing where you're walking through the crowd? I mean, I've been there once, and I saw like Brian Posehn and Mila Jovovich, and it's very strange. And Eli Roth walking past. And
yeah, he was there too. Yeah, it's become huge.
Do you get stopped?
Yeah, this year was probably the most. You know,
Yeah.
we went there last year, and this year was probably double. So it's funny. The room was literally growing daily,
Exponentially almost.
nonstop.
Yeah.
It's last year I thought, okay, it's kind of peaked after being on the cover of Yahoo and all that, and then ABC World News, but
Yeah.
it's just like today it was in Time magazine, CNN's doing a piece on it. It just keeps growing. I don't know what it is. I guess there's nothing really out there that's like it. So.
Yeah. Definitely not.
Yeah. Last time, I don't think I've ever seen anybody hump a red dress on film before. So we got, you know, it's still reaching millions.
Is it the one thing in the movie that you kind of look at and go?
I love watching people's reaction to that.
Yeah.
I think it's priceless.
What about the lines and the quoting? I mean, you know, Tommy, just for us, you know, cinema head cheese, you're tearing me apart, you know, and the oh hi, and all of that stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
it's such a quotable movie.
It is.
Kind
And
of
I've noticed it's kind of scary for me when I say things from the room, like to family, or my mom will be like, "Oh my God, you sound like Mark." I'm like, "Oh God, it's coming into real life." So
Yeah, that's cool. Well, it looks like you've got a few things going too. I mean,
yeah, oddly enough, you think, you know, being in a movie like this, people would hold you accountable, but I think they've embraced it, and I've got, you know, I get it. I've kind of known what it is, and I've embraced it also. So I think just have a good time with it. You know, it's brought me some opportunities, which is really great. And able to go out and meet fans, and so.
Well, what are you working on now that you're excited about? That you're looking
Well,
forward to?
I'm really excited about the book, writing
Yeah.
the book. I think that'll be, you know, I think just getting this whole story out there, I think it'll be therapeutic for me in a way. To get it out there and really, like, you know, kind of relive where it came from and
Yeah.
share that. Because I think a lot of fans want to know, there's so many questions behind this movie. I think more so than any movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You know? And I think it'd just be really great to answer all these questions and have people know like what I went through making this movie, and just get to have, you know, be able to, for them to get to know me personally, you know, because I meet so many fans on the road and we have such great conversations, and they're like, wow, it's so cool that you're normal, you're like a real person, you're cool, you're normal. And I think they probably think I'm gonna walk in like on reefers trying to throw them off a building or something.
Yeah,
So,
what were the drugs? That was the one thing.
yeah, I don't.
That's my question. What kind of is this just anything and everything the kid could get his hands on, or?
Yeah, I think that's why a sequel needs to be made.
I think so.
To explain all these untold plots.
Yeah. We know there's going to be one person missing in the sequel. I'm not going to say who, but for those
I-
who haven't
but
seen it yet,
I
you gotta
think-
go watch it. But-
Yeah, I think he can still make it. You know, I think Maybe there's a glimmer of hope that he survived.
I think Tommy could figure it out. I get the feeling.
Yeah, I don't think we have believability issues. I don't think that's a problem.
No, I don't think that's a worry.
People will they'll let their imaginations go and be like, okay, we accept this, we get it.
I think, and nobody would care.
Yeah.
Nobody would care. They'd just be happy to see it. So.
I've been trying to talk him into it for a while, so hopefully.
Yeah. Well, it could happen.
Yeah.
It could. I mean, with all of this going on and the craziness.
Could you imagine the world premiere for that?
I really could see it being. I mean, you guys could be a Chinese theater packing that place. I could really believably, after what I've seen here month after month.
Yeah,
it could
and
happen.
in New York, it was pretty crazy at the Ziegfeld, which is New York's biggest theater. It's where they hold all their premieres. It sold out, 1,200 seats, you know?
Yeah.
So after when I saw that, I'm like, okay. For a while, I thought Tommy had pretty high expectations, but after that, I said maybe he's on to something.
Yeah. Cool.
So.
Well, good luck with the book.
Yeah.
Thank you, Greg.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it. For Cinema Head Cheese, I'm Kevin Moyers. See you next time.